Good morning and welcome to Two Scoops Morning News. Why are you making stupid faces? I'm Craig and Jim Halpert is with me.
And I'm Jim.
This is Two Scoops.
You're watching Two Scoops Morning News with Dan and Craig, your sunrise reminder that things could get worse, so laugh at them while you still can.
Well,
Thank you.
well,
Well,
we've reached the pinnacle of the Ukraine war.
was it worth
On a
it?
lighter side. Well, it was because Oscar Award winner President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has also been named Times Person of the Year, which is not Man of the Year anymore. It's Person of the Year because obviously sexism and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we got that with the highest accolades in the land. Time Magazine's Person of the Year.
That's not it.
That's not it.
There you go. Good morning, CD. CD's here. She says good morning.
Good morning, CD. So Zelenskyy wins Time Magazine's Person of the Year, as I mentioned. Here's the cover. Isn't that a truly inspiring cover?
I mean, it's a good design. I'm not gonna lie. It makes me feel like I'm, looking at a upcoming indie hipster film about a man who overcame the struggle of a broken heart or something.
Or a broken
Look at that sad expression on his face.
No. So what I like about it is all the the blue and yellow coloring in the background. Even the people are blue and yellow, and the sunflowers are blue and yellow, and everything's blue and yellow. But God, I can't get this crap out of my throat.
Stop eating shit.
I gotta stop eating shit. Anyway, Zelenskyy has joined.
Celia says, at first glance, I thought that was Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser's a little bit fatter these days.
So I was gonna say, not quite fat enough. Yes. Zelenskyy is obviously starving, and he's a war hero.
He looks like he's skipped a couple meals, maybe. Yeah. Anyways, he joins some of the greatest heroes of time on the list of people to get named Man of the Year. Like Adolf Hitler and Vladimir Putin. So
and Greta Thunberg and in 2020's Person of the Year, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
They never won
because they wanted the woman, but she hadn't done enough herself,
right?
Or anything at that. So they had to use Joe Biden, but they couldn't just have Joe Biden because sexism and shit. So yeah,
right. But we're back to straight white males now, so it's fine. Actually, I use the term straight very loosely. If you've seen any of his videos before he was elected, anyway,
straightish white Nazis. We've circled all the way back to like 1934. Is that what we've done?
They have a niche. Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting how. I want to know what the future is going to hold for Zelenskyy and I don't know, authoritarianism in general, because they've kind of got a track record here. Like there's Hitler makes Time Magazine, then everybody calls Hitler a Nazi. Then Hitler called Hitler a Nazi. Then there's Vladimir.
They were judging him. He didn't come up with that label. They were just the early trolls of the early years that were like, "Oh, you like Trump? You're a Nazi, whatever."
Yeah, they're like, he's just a fucking Nazi, and Hitler's like, what's a Nazi?
I like that. I'm gonna use that.
Right. So then Putin became Person of the Year, and then a couple years later, I don't remember what did it say. 15 years later. Sorry, it's right there. 15 years later, Putin is now a Nazi, and so Zelenskyy makes Person of the Year, and so I give it 5-6 years, or maybe like tomorrow, and we will be calling him a Nazi.
Yeah. I mean, I already am. And
Yeah.
Putin, do you think Putin will come back around now that he's the evil one? Will he turn it back into the good one? Like, I
Well,
don't know how
Hitler
any of this swing works.
has Hitler turned back into the good one? Well, besides like with Kanye West as of late.
No, no,
Said,
unfortunately.
unfortunately, I love Hitler. There's good attributes in all people.
Hold on, hold
Especially
on. One more time. Say it again.
you can get enough sound bites from my episode that released yesterday. So go back and do your homework.
I love watching people try and cover that story, and they're like, he said he loves Hitler. Like, nobody will even give the direct quote because they don't want that soundbite.
Oh, I was listening back to my episode yesterday, and I was like, "Wow, that would be a shitty soundbite." It was like, I was just like, and now he's out there, or I can't remember what I was talking about. I was like, it's not like he's out there saying, "I'm a racist and I hate Jews," and I'm just like, "Wow, that could really easily be clipped out."
Yep, yep.
All right, so back to the story.
'Kay.
It says, after already winning an Oscar, quote unquote, Ukrainian. What do you win an Oscar for? I don't even remember what this was about. Was
Wait,
it sadness?
Zelenskyy won an Oscar?
That's what this says. That's what I don't know. I
That's
feel like I
like
need to follow the link.
I remember Sean Penn went there and gave him one of his circle jerk elitist trophies or something, and he was like, "Keep this. I know it means nothing, but it'll help me feel like I'm doing
Oh,
something."
yeah, that was probably it. Yeah, I
Was
think
that
that.
him winning an Oscar though, or was that
I
him
know.
being given a dumb trophy?
Now, the thing that pissed me off the most about that is that Oscar shouldn't exist because Sean Penn promised to smelt his award. Remember?
I
If
don't remember that.
Zelensky. Oh my God, I thought we had talked about that.
I don't pay that much attention to Sean Penn. I'll be
I
honest.
don't either, but it's like every time he comes in the news, he's like bitching about something. It's like, if this doesn't happen, I'm smelting my award, and that didn't
That'll help.
happen. And it might have had to do with Zelensky not showing up to some award thing, or somebody not showing. I don't know. If they don't, I thought it was. I think it was if they don't have Zelensky too. I don't know. I don't know.
Who cares? Either
Anyway.
way, no matter, even if it was something actually wholesome, him smelting his award means nothing and contributes nothing to anybody at all.
So instead, he is like, this contributes nothing to anybody at all. So I'm going to contribute this to Zelensky for his great acting abilities.
And Zelensky immediately pawned it off for cash.
I'm sure he did. After winning an Oscar, or what we just said there, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has been named Time's coveted person of the year. Who is coveting this position? I think you're misusing the word.
Yeah. So are we coveting being on the cover of their magazine, or are we covering being the leader of a war-torn country?
Both.
Nice.
The magazine announced on Wednesday after he days ago made the short list of 10 finalists. I want to know who the 10 finalists were. Zelensky has indeed become among the world's most recognizable faces since Russia's February invasion, which has since driven headlines for 2022 and introduced some degree of chaos and huge uncertainty in global markets. Zelensky was named alongside, or rather as representing, the spirit of Ukraine. So,
The spirit of Christmas.
So last year we had Joe Biden alongside. Like, they can't just do it on their own. Like, the person of the year is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. This year, it's Zelensky alongside the spirit of Ukraine. So he can't even get it on his own. He has to share the stage with the entire spirit of Ukraine.
Spirit.
That's
like Kamala Harris sharing it with Joe Biden's ghost.
Exactly. Like that's what all of this, like, blue and yellow, I guess, represents, is the spirit of Ukraine.
I see.
That's almost a Nazi salute. That's a Black Power salute from a Nazi.
Yeah, normal. It's fine.
Says, for this reason, a number of pundits considered it entirely predictable. The lengthy Time write-up on its newly named Person of the Year cast Zelensky as a central action hero, staving off the nefarious invading forces of Vladimir Putin. Recounting how Ukrainian leader traveled in person to stroll through newly liberated... Yeah, you remember that photo ops of him strolling through the war-torn streets, and it's like multicam, and it's just like, this is
Yeah.
very clearly produced here. This isn't just Zelensky
Or the
randomly out.
Vogue magazine shoot in the middle of the worst war that we're supposed to believe has ever happened, and him and his wife are like posing glamorously on steps and things.
Right. Says it represented a huge blow to Russian war aims. Time wrote his bodyguards were urging him to wait. The Russians had destroyed the city's infrastructure, leaving it with no water, power, or heat. Its outskirts were littered with mines. Government buildings were rigged with tripwires. For some reason, I I don't know that, like, where's the evidence to prove this? Is Time just saying things? Because I haven't heard of any government buildings, and I've read extensively about this war. I haven't heard of any government buildings rigged with tripwires or landmines or anything like. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
um,
I don't know, but I'm betting that they've spoken with Zelensky more than we have, so
no, this.
perhaps.
Uh, I guess perhaps I don't know. Further, the publication highlighted the danger to Zelensky's personal safety. All right, here's the drama. On the highway to Kherson, an
Coruscant?
explosion.
I think that's in
Sure.
Star Wars.
Yeah, I think so. An explosion had destroyed a bridge, rendering it impassable. As they fled, the Russians were also suspected of leaving behind agents and saboteurs who could try to ambush the presidential convoy to assassinate Zelensky or take him hostage. There would be no way to ensure his safety on the central square, where crowds had gathered to celebrate the city's liberation within range of Russian artillery. They're going for the Pulitzer Prize.
Yep.
In writing on this. This is very dramatic. Very freaking
Well, I
dramatic.
mean, it is an acting award at this point because, yeah.
Well, obviously, that's all his persona has been acting. He's
Yeah.
presented as not only the global diplomatic voice and conscience of Ukraine, but a last action hero of sorts.
Oh dear God.
God, good freaking God.
Are you done with this?
I-
Are you done
Is
with this
there
Zelensky jerk?
is there any credit to being the Time person? Like, does anybody fucking care about Time magazine anymore? Does anybody buy or read, or is it
Or
just like
talk
this?
about it on their podcast?
Or is it just like this where we're like, oh, so and so made Time cover of the year. Oh, I kind of forgot about Time magazine, except every year they put some dumbass
Yep.
on the cover.
Yep. It's like, oh, it's that time again. Get it?
I get it.
Let's see who they're putting up this year. Oh, it's Hitler. Okay. It'd be hilarious if they put up Kanye West next year.
He will be. He
Yeah.
will be.
Got to keep with the trends. Anyway, speaking of actors and stupid people and stuff.
I think it's better than you think. Have
What?
you actually read the article you're about to pull up?
No.
Okay, so it's not as stupid as you think. Mindy
Okay.
Kaling is actually like defending The Office. She's not like slamming The Office.
Okay. Enlighten me with my own story. From EW.com, Entertainment Weekly. So you know it's legit. Mindy Kaling says so much of The Office wouldn't fly today. That show is so inappropriate. The former writer and star says times and tastes have changed since the show ended in 2013.
She's absolutely right. 100% right.
Well, yeah.
I restarted The Office for like the 10th time 2 days ago, and I was like, there's no way this makes it to TV, and it doesn't make it to even a reading.
Well, it might not make it to TV because the studios are bitches, but that doesn't mean that people wouldn't immediately watch it if it came out today because I don't know if they would, but as recent as the year 2020, just 2 years ago, this show that is like how old? Like 15 years old?
Mm-hmm.
It was the #1 streaming show.
Well, that's because
2
of
years
people
ago.
like us that are like, man, I really miss good, clean Like,
There's a younger generation though that's latching onto it. Like I have a friend who's like between 18 and 20, somewhere in there, and he was talking about how all the younger generation was like latching onto The Office, and all of his friends were quoting The Office and stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know, Napoleon Dynamite, where it will last forever and people will love it and respect it.
she kind of addresses this too. Like, continue to read. Don't judge her because I
That show
actually
is so inappropriate now,
no,
Kaling said.
no, just read it with an open mind because she actually is not bashing on it.
Okay.
And because
The
I thought the
writers
same,
who I'm still in touch with. Sorry, go ahead. What?
because I thought the same thing. Bill sent me this headline. I was like, oh God. And then I read, I was like, actually, she did it good. She was kind of defending it. So
So
keep
yeah,
going.
this first paragraph is basically what we already said. Taste of change, blah blah blah. Kaling also said she isn't planning to show The Office to her kids anytime soon or
That,
ever.
that's just fucking dumb. That
Quote,
part's dumb.
I kind of think maybe never, she quipped. Based on the British TV show blah. Yeah, we know.
You missed the paragraph before that where
I think that actually
okay.
is one of the reasons the show is so popular, because people feel like there's something kind of fearless about it or taboo that it talks about on the show.
Yeah, so like that's why people keep going. Yes, it's super non-PC, and actually, that's why people keep watching it. Is pretty much
Right.
what she's saying.
It's like South
It's
Park
not,
is still a thing. South Park
yeah,
was a thing when we were kids, and South Park is still a thing. I don't know. Yes, it's super non-PC, and that's why people like. It's not like it was politically correct when it came out.
right.
Y'all were just less bitches about it.
Well, that
And
was kind of the point of the show was, hey, let's poke fun at all this non-PC shit, or the let's do the things and
the
poke fun
offensive
of.
jokes were funny because they were offensive,
Well,
because they made
and
sense.
and it was usually like at the expense of somebody that would talk like that. Like they were never like glorifying um Michael Scott's obviously like male chauvinism. They were poking fun at male chauvinists in The Office. It never was just like this is how people should be. It was
Right.
clearly this is retarded and you should not be this way.
If it was just a normal person, or not normal, if it was just a, I don't know, just a boss who was very kind and loving to all of his coworkers and had no flaws and obviously was black, then nobody would care. Not because he's black, but I'm saying if it was made now and they took out all the like, it wasn't praising the misogyny. It was, the joke was that some people are like this and see how dumb that is, and you know that it. If they made it now, it would be, yeah, it would be so watered down and people wouldn't watch it. Not because they don't still find the Office humor, the offensive humor funny, but because they don't find the PC get woke go broke shit to be funny, and you can tell by the whole get woke go broke premise and concept that we've been experiencing so frequently these days. But I do look forward to the reboot, the all diverse casted reboot where
It's
Jim is
pretty,
trans and Pam is
for the time it was extremely
a proud
diverse.
slut.
For the time it was pretty diverse. You had kind of the Office hookup people. You had the alcoholic chick that would literally flash her tits at anybody, even though she was gross. You had the Office affair. You several Office affairs. You had several races. You had a gay guy. It was pretty diverse for the early 2000s. You can't say
Right.
it was.
And they, even just Oscar, when they presented him as gay and he came out, and like it was in a a non-PC way where they were showing how like some of the struggles that somebody in that situation would have to encounter in the real world. And then after he came out, he didn't change into this flamboyant whatever drag queen or anything.
Oscar.
He was a normal person integrating into society.
Who
And
just happened
wasn't,
to be gay.
yes, and he wasn't demanding respect for it. Now you said that based on, I guess, this one tiny quote here, that it's fine, but then she goes on to say that she would never show it to her kids.
I missed
So
that part. That's just
yeah,
retarded.
yeah, that's pretty much it. But I don't know. It's dumb. And there is a part of me that's always been like, I hope they do like a reunion or a soft reboot. I don't want them to like remake anything or, start up a new series with them. But I don't even know if I want that at this point. It's like
No,
I don't want to give them the opportunity to make it any worse than they already have because they've removed scenes in streaming from the show. They've
really.
removed they've removed things over the years. Like there's the one where what's his name? I don't remember. It's the Bill Schnickel one, and he talks about how a boy would show up in blackface
Oh
and
my
yada
god,
yada. And
hilarious
there's
part of it though.
it's just this one scene of this guy. He's like walking up walking up the parking lot in full blackface, looking just wildly offensive, but he doesn't even realize it. And then he looks down at his text message from Dwight, and he's like, "Shit!" Takes off the hat, and
Dude,
turns around, and walks the other way. It was just that one little scene, but they took it out.
it's the same with have you seen the show Community?
Yeah,
Where there's what's the Asian guy's name? I can't think of his name. But
yeah,
they show up,
Shang.
yeah. They show up to a D&D thing and he's like not blackface but completely painted literally the color black.
Yep.
Not like looking like a black guy. And everybody like since then has come out and like a bunch of people in outrage over the blackface of this, and it's like the point of that was pointing out that no, you cannot do that today because they clearly made a point. It's like, dude, you can't do that. Like you're like they pointed out the stupidity of it. And the same with The Office. It's like he would show up and they're like, you're not gonna do that. No, that
Right.
is so wrong. And that's why he turned around and walked. That's the point. It's not
That's
like
the
it's
joke.
not some jovial like blackface guy. Like the whole joke is this is not appropriate. This is not okay. And they're like, oh, this is not okay. All right. And like we can't even point out that things aren't okay. We can't like show the things to point out, hey, this is wrong, and still not be offensive with it.
Right. You
It's
can't
like
laugh at wrongness because that's taking joy from wrongness. You have to wear sackcloth and ashes and weep
yeah,
and gnash teeth and lash yourself 1,000 times in order to, truly respect how wrong this joke is. CD
yeah,
says, Mindy's kids, Mom, how do you make money? Mindy, a show called Sex Lives of College Girls, honey.
yes,
you know.
yes, that's the one that you should show your kids instead of The Office.
Right. And also one that I'm sure she didn't make nearly as much money off of.
Right. And again, it's like Michael Scott's character. Nobody on that show is glorifying his racial stereotypes, his making fun of gay people. I mean, we're laughing along with him, and we're uncomfortably laughing along because of how wrong we know that this is, or how uncomfortable of a situation. Like we're embarrassed for Michael Scott in all of these situations. Yet you still get people like my wife watched it and she wasn't paying attention, and she doesn't really care for the show because she hasn't really paid attention, but like she's sitting there on her phone, she
You held
hears like
out for a long time. I told you for years you got to
yeah,
watch The
true.
Office. You held out.
It's
You
true.
said it was dumb.
But she would be sitting there on her phone and she'd hear like a joke or something. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is terrible. Like, why are you watching? Like, how is this even on TV? This is horrible." I'm like, that's the point of it. It's pointing out,
That's the joke.
yes, yeah, like you're missing the
Sorry, you
humor.
simple-minded woman, that you don't understand that this misogyny isn't really misogyny. It's a joke because nobody would ever act like that. Stupid.
So, yeah, so we had to mansplain to them like
Yes.
why Michael Scott's
I
misogyny is
mean, you
okay.
did apparently. So.
Exactly. Now, I
Ah,
still love The Office. I will still, even though it doesn't fit in today's society. My kids started watching The Office with me for the first time this year. It's not that they were too young that I thought, hey, this is bad for like younger teenagers. Is because I don't want to have somebody talking over The Office while I'm watching it. So I've never allowed them to watch it. And my daughter's watched or asked many times, "Can I watch The Office?" No, it's not appropriate. Sorry, can't watch it. but it's solely because I just wanted to watch it by myself. That's
Well,
all.
I'm a good father, and I don't let mine watch it because it is inappropriate. But anyway,
I haven't watched it in a few years, so we started the other day. I'm like, I don't remember if this is too
Yeah.
inappropriate, so we're gonna try and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's perfectly fine for adults, but there's an an age, I would say, for some of the and
So you're
very
like
random
failing.
things that come up without warning. I will have no problem with them watching it in the future, but yeah, it is what it is. I think is that oh wait, that's not it. I had one more thing to tack on to this.
Always have actually.
Bonus.
It's like here's your 2 scoops plus a little spoon of sugar with
Do you
Dan's
remember
mom.
what happened on Tuesday?
And we only had one,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
so we
And
gotta
who brought it?
we gotta make up for
Who
one.
brought that?
You, because you said, "I've got this thing."
I don't remember that part.
Maybe we should just talk about this one thing because it's gonna take a while, and I have a lot of things to say about this. That's what you said.
Speaking of that one thing, this is the episode from Tuesday, and I just wanted to read one or two comments from it because that's the amount of
Yes.
comments that I got on it. So scrolling down to the comments, this person says "woo," and this person says "lose the co-host."
What the fuck? Who was
Wait, you
this?
can't see it.
I
There you
can't
go.
see.
Lose the
Who is
co-host.
Snowboard assassin?
Snowboard assassin. He just murders those snowboards. The funny thing is that it's we're both co-hosts. I mean, it's on my channel, so I assume he's talking about you. But I do think it's funny to watch a show where two people are having a conversation and say lose the co-host. I guess that just means that we should just play The View and let him watch The View, and then we won't be there for any of it.
I guess. I'm gonna. That's gonna bother me the rest of the day. Like, what the hell?
Oh, I get on on like Tom McDonald interviews and stuff like that I've done. Like, just still, I get comments on them that are like, "Dude, will you shut up and let the guest talk? Shut up, dude. You suck. You suck." Like, all right, yeah, okay.
Annoying. Now I had posted this Time article.
Maybe Tom McDonald should start a podcast and you could watch that. I'm sorry that you're not.
Yeah.
You're
Do
not as
you
good
know
of
what
friends with him as I
interviews
am.
are? Are you
Right.
aware of what interviews are?
Or conversations between two humans.
I had posted this Time article on Twitter, and I was like, "Lest we remember, Hitler too was Time Man of the Year," and somebody was like, so is Donald Trump," and it happened to be. I clicked on I clicked on his profile, and it was. And I looked the guy up too. He has a blue check, which I thought was odd that I got a comment from a blue check, which
Yeah.
is probably going to be more of a thing now.
And you
But
framed it and mounted it on your wall.
he is a
Thank you for
fact
noticing
check.
me.
He's a fact checker for Snopes, is what it says.
Oh wow.
And I even looked up, and if this isn't a fake account, he indeed is. He only has like 4,000 followers. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, he's like, so his comment was, "So is Trump." And so I was like, yeah. And so my
and you
comment
don't
was,
like him, right?
yeah, my comment was, they're setting the bar high, aren't they? That's all I said. It's like, okay. And then somebody else was like, "So was Putin a few years ago. What's your point?" It's like, you're making
Yep.
my for me. You're literally making the point for me.
Well, it's just the run to assumption. If you don't like Zelenskyy, then you must be a Trump supporter. If you don't like Zelenskyy, then you must be a Putin supporter. It's like, oh, maybe. And even if you were, even if you loved them both, it's like, so you guys are saying that
This terrible.
what I'm saying is that they've had bad people on, so this isn't that great. And what you're saying is they've had bad people on, so shut up.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious.
Yep.
I had a guy call me stupid on Twitter the other day.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, like he read one of my comments on some blue checks bullshit thing. So I
Boom, roasted.
commented on it. And so he not only commented on that, and it wasn't much more, but then he also he's just like, oh yeah, his comment there was, "So why don't you just leave?" Oh, okay. So then he went to my profile, went to my pinned tweet,
Yeah.
and typed, "Stupid." He took the
Oh, I
time
love
to
it.
find my profile to
Yep,
say
he
stupid.
lurked around a bit looking for something that he could use against you, and he's just like, "You're dumb. Bye."
There was
That'll
another
show
one.
him.
There was another one I had commented a troll comment on, and somebody was like, "Oh, I bet your 15 followers really care to hear that." Or your 15 viewers really care. I was like,
They
so my
do,
comment
it seems.
yes, my comment, like, they expect me to get, like, offended by these things. It's
Right.
like, I know these things. And so my comment to him was, "Follow my page and you'll make number 16."
Yeah, I've found, as I've mentioned before, that the bots really hate it when you're just polite in it and accept, like, I don't know, like if somebody like bashes on me, I just usually play dumb and go along with them, like, oh man, that sounds terrible, and stuff, and act like I don't understand. Then they get really mad because they're talking to an idiot that doesn't understand what they were trying to say, which makes it even more fun for me.
Yeah,
But
yes, obviously.
mostly because at that point they're an idiot that doesn't understand what I'm trying to say. Craig, where can people find you and the Nazi trolling that you do?
People can find my Nazi trolling and join my 15 viewers, possibly 16 now, if that guy did indeed follow my instructions. They can find me and all the things I do at breakthebellpod.com. My podcast is called The Break the Bell Podcast, and you can find me all over the interwebs and the social medias at the handle at Break the Bell Pod.
Nice. And you can find me on the internet, on the social medias. Why do I have all these? It goes to the wrong things. Never mind.
Squares. We just
You
want to see your squares.
working on it. You can find me. I'll figure out this podcasting thing at one point, but you can find out. You can go back and rewatch all the progress to get to this lackluster point that I've made it to in my life, and you can watch the future downfall of my life at thesystemsdown.tv or on Twitter at tsidpod, where I am the most spicy and active. And that's that. Would you like to talk us out, Craig?
I would like to talk us out, yes. This has been Two Scoops, and Dan,
Huh?
lose your co-host.
This has been Two Scoops Morning News every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 a.m. Central or whenever we feel like it. Until next time, hang in there, America.
Well, now that Craig's gone, we can actually get this show started. Welcome to One Scoop Morning News, where we're going to talk about one thing, and it's just goodbye, everybody.